Hey. All right, we're back with part two on creating value. So remember, I said that when we talked about the definition of creating value, I said that it was something of importance to another person. So I want to talk more specifically about that in this video. So, creating value at work. Now, we create money and recognition for ourselves by creating value. Money is produced by creating value for people. It's not produced by the amount of time that you work or the amount of time that you put in. It's produced by value. And in fact, they don't give it to us, right? So they're not paying you to show up from 9 to 5 and produce X amount unless you work a job that is volume for time, so to speak, right? Like in a manufacturing plant, if you think about Amazon, I'm sure that they have quotas that people need to meet of how many packages they need to package. For most of you, that isn't the type of work you're doing, right? So they're not paying you to produce X widgets in X amount of time and we give you X amount. And even if they was, that would be the value that they perceive for what you are creating, even in that case, right? So we create money for ourselves and thus recognition for ourselves by creative value. They don't give it to us. And I want you to just think about that. They don't give it to you. They're not giving you anything. You are doing something in order to produce that money that they believe to be valuable. Remember, value is in the eye of the beholder, right? So someone else perceives something to be of value, and that value is in the eye of the beholder. And however that person perceives it doesn't have anything intrinsically to do with you. It is not a reflection of your worthiness or whether or not you are good enough, right? So let's say I had $30,000 I was going to spend, and I had two people who are selling me two different things. On one side, I have a 6-month vacation around the world, all the places on my bucket list. On the other side, I have a beautiful new Lexus ES. It is a midnight blue with a like brown interior. Can y'all tell I've thought about this, right? Now, I find both of them valuable. But which one do I want more? In this case, or at least at this moment in time, I would probably say I would pick the vacation, right? So the person that was going to sell me the car did nothing wrong. It wasn't about them. It was just what I perceived to be more valuable. Now, many of you would be like, what? But you don't have anything tangible, right? At least with the car to be paid for, you'd have it. You use it for 10 years, whatever, right? That would be more valuable to you. You see what I'm getting at? You see how the perspective of the beholder matters when we talk about value? Right. So when it comes to work, the solution or value we are offering is important or not to the other person or the other people based on their own thoughts, reasons, and rationale. We do not have to like them or agree with them or even understand them. Okay? So it's not about you. It's about producing something that another person finds valuable in order for you to be able to get the recognition that you ultimately want. And it's about finding those people. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. So with that, when we create value for people, those people will value what you've created because it will change their life or make it better from their perception. In return, they will be willing to recognize you, your contribution, and pay you for it, right? This is what has to happen in the process of creating value. And this is how you will know when the other person sees what you're offering as valuable. Notice I said the other person will see what you're offering, your solution, your proposal as valuable, not you. We are not talking about you. Whether or not they like it or not, this says nothing about your worthiness or your enoughness. Okay, now, in order for you to do this, you have to be in a place where you understand kind of your value alignment. And so, what does it mean to create value that is aligned and is 100% you, right? Value is something that you create. It's from the genius that you hold within you. When you produce solutions, recommendations at work, that is your intellectual property, your personal and unique genius based on your unique experiences now, in the past, or just what you think might work in the future. So, the first thing is the solution you offer allows you to communicate in a way that makes you feel comfortable, honest, and genuine. Genuine is key there, right? You want to be able to deliver information in a way where you feel genuine, because when you don't come across as confident. Right? So that leads into the second bullet. You are confident that you can deliver this solution and people will get results, right? And confidence is really, in this case, a matter of experience or faith in yourself that you can deliver the solution. And then third, you can deliver the solution in a way that is aligned with your brand and career goals. So it's one thing to be able to deliver a solution. It's another to be able to do it in a way that is aligned with your brand, what you want people to think and remember about you, and your future goals. Then next, the solution integrates well with your experience, and it allows you to expand or diversify the services and or the audience you support. Right? So when we're taking on, for example, these projects, we want to take on projects that either diversify our experience. And not only does it diversify our experience, maybe it introduces you to a new audience of people, right? So it's expanding the people that know you, that know your brand, expanding the opportunities for people to get exposure to you so that you then get exposure to new opportunities, right? And then we have the proposed solutions add value to the team, the organization, or the market, and it contributes to your reputation and overall audience lifetime value, right? So this is kind of the combination of all the bullets above, right? When we take on work, especially work that is above and beyond our job description, it is not work to do because someone again needs to fill the void, but it's work that is supposed to propel you forward when it's value aligned. And then last but not least, you want to be creating and delivering the solution in a way that makes you feel inspired and supports what you want to bring into this world. So again, taking on projects or work just to do it, just because your boss needs someone to do it. We as women tend to, and I hear this from a lot of my clients, well, I don't want to leave the company in a void. I don't want to leave my boss in a void, right? But those same people, if opportunity would just strike, would take the next opportunity. And maybe they would miss you, but they wouldn't let it stop them from growing, right? And so we have to think about when we're willing to choose something that is not aligned with what we want or who we are, why is another person more important? And what are the thoughts we're having about ourselves, right? And if this is you that I'm speaking to, I want you to go back to like module 2 and really work on the work around worthiness and being enough, right? Because That's what it's indicative of, that they are more worthy than you when you put them before you, especially when it comes to you feeling aligned with the value you want to offer in this world and being willing to put that out there. Okay. Now, with that, we are coming to the end, or we are at the end of part two. We're going to hop over to part three and wrap this up and talk about, okay, I know what value is. I understand how to create it at work, or how to get myself in the right mental space, or understand what I need to do to create it. So then what needs to happen for it to materialize? And that's what we're going to talk about in part three. I'll see you there.